AITAH for telling my fiancé that his family will be the reason why we don't get married. Me 26F and my fiancé 26M have been together for 3 years and we have a 1-year-old. His family has always had something to say about our relationship even when we first started dating. We got engaged last year when we found out I was 7 weeks pregnant. But before I agreed to accept the proposal, I told him my boundaries and expectations. I also wanted him to sign a prenup and a postnup. He agreed to them and would also have his own. Now our first child just turned 1. And we were planning to start planning for our wedding. It was gonna be small with just immediate family and very close friends. We have scheduled time off to start checking out venues. I guess he told his parents about our plan and unsurprisingly, they were not happy. They wanted us to have a big wedding so they can invite all the family. They were upset that we didn't ask them what they wanted. I told my fiancé that it's not their wedding, therefore, we're gonna do what we want. This is where the disconnect happens. He sided with them and said his family deserved to be invited to our special day. But that's not the only problem. He disclosed to his parents that I'm also making him sign a prenup and a postnup. They said it was disgraceful and unwomanly of me. They told him to force me out of it. As I said, his parents have also had something to say about our relationship. Like I shouldn't be making more money than him. Or that I should put his name on the condo. Normally, it's settled through a text or a call and it'll be peaceful for a while. But this is something different. I no longer feel comfortable marrying him since it doesn't seem like he'll ever step up and stand up for our relationship. I feel like I'm gonna end up marrying him and his family. Our scheduled time off is approaching this Monday and I don't know how to tell him that I no longer feel like marrying him. That it's because of his family. I know he loves them and I admire him for that. But how can I be okay with this when he loves them more than our own family that we created together? This has been eating me up inside because I feel like I'll be breaking our family apart. But I just don't know what to do. I'm afraid to reach out to our mutuals because I'm not the type to really talk stuff about my relationship, which is why I'm here pouring out to strangers online anonymously. Please give me some insight or something. I love this man. And I don't want to tear apart our family. But I also don't want to suffer from trying to keep it together. I was not expecting this to get this much attention. My email was full on notifications. Hopefully I didn't end up in anyone's feed and trigger them. I'm really just at a loss. What they said is normally relayed to me, shown to me by my fiancé, which is why I didn't think that he sided with them because I can see his responses. They're normally I will tell her, Mata, or I will see what I can do. Compromising is a big aspect of relationships. And I did nothing but compromising. Try to accommodate him and his parents. From our anniversary, to our vacations and to what we do for our household. I drew the line when I became pregnant and they demanded I become a SAM. So many people think contraception works 100 and it does not. My next planning baby is a year old. As for me getting pregnant by him, it wasn't planned. While I support women's right, I personally wouldn't make the choice for myself. When he agreed to my boundaries and expectations, I asked him what were his so that both sides are equally heard. He told me his, which none included his parents. That is the only reason why I agreed to them. I disclosed about wanting a prenup and a postnup and suggested he did the same, which he told me he would have his own. I offered to have my lawyer assist him. He declined and said he would get his own. We both agreed on having them. The wedding plans were closely discussed with just me and him. What did we want, what are our expectations, and what is our budget? We were the ones paying for it. Not my family, despite my dad practically begging me to because it's become a family tradition. My fiancé was not comfortable with it and he said he felt like it would emasculate him if it seemed like he couldn't afford his own wedding. We sat down with my dad. My dad said he understood and respected. We did come to an agreement that my dad would at least pay for my wedding dress. My fiancé agreed to that. So when that was all settled, my fiancé started discussing budgets. He said $15,000 would be his ideal. And I agreed that it was good price range, doable. Now this is where it gets tricky. He wants a destination wedding, which is why I suggested a small wedding. Yes, I suggested it, and not because I didn't want his family there, but because I'm considering the financial aspect for guests. He agreed that it would be expensive for his side. I was the one that suggested we do in the country, just in another state, and we can plan to drive to get his family or fly them out. I told him this would be more accommodating because I agreed that his family deserves to be there. I worked way too hard in school to get my degree, to get my license, and to get where I'm at. I was financially responsible for every penny I spent. I grew up with parents who wanted financial literacy and independence for their kids. Before my fiancé came into the picture, I made sure all my baggage was packed and covered. The condo we call home is a gift to myself. I suggested couples therapy, he refused. I suggested therapy for all of us, me, him, and his parents. He refused because it would be disrespectful. I suggested that we all just have a sit down and set boundaries. He said it would come off as aggression. I asked him many times throughout our entire relationship if he felt the same way as they did. He denied. He said that he knows that they can be unreasonable and unrealistic, but they're his parents, so he tries his best to honor them. I suggested that I should just have a sit down with his parents, and he got upset and said I was going too far. So, yeah, I'm at a loss. Don't know what to do because neither of the choices I've got in my head are appealing. Update: I've tried to read as many comments as I can throughout the day. Sorry if I couldn't get to all of you. I will say some of you are distasteful. You got so much hate. I've decided I will have a talk with him tonight before we go to bed. It's physically impossible to just to wait. I feel like I'm going through withdrawal symptoms. And plus he's been asking me all day if something was going on. Pray for me.